Gentlemen and female gentlemen, don't lick the breast that feeds you. It is time for more Mr. Breast drama. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Mr. Breast drama? He hasn't done anything new since the allegations dropped. Well, as you know, I have been covering this mostly because I find it fascinating how my metric of 1 in 4 YouTubers turn out to be horrible people might be more like 1 in 3 YouTubers. However, there are new allegations that hit the fan, and I will argue these are bad. Bad allegations. Bad. Like bad. Like, I know you're not even gonna believe me, so I don't even want to say it because you're not even gonna believe me, but apparently, slave labor allegations? I know! You literally did not think it was gonna get there, okay? You thought, guys, we're gonna be talking about, faking videos, and then MrBeast out there in a third world country with his sweatshop and slave laborers, allegedly, making his chocolate. Listen, this is gonna be crazy! Let's see what we got. More Pegasus is on this, as you know. Let's see what the is going on.
The MrBeast allegations keep getting worse, and there doesn't seem to be an end. So we're just gonna go over everything that's gone down in the past 2 weeks since my last video, including some very serious new allegations regarding Feastables. So last time, everyone was concerned.
Pedophile. No! Why are 50% of these people predators? There's no way! This one screenshot is 50% predators. Oh, you throw a fucking pencil at MrBeast's neighborhood, you hit a predator.
With the allegation that MrBeast hired a registered offender.
This is crazy. I literally still can't believe this. I'm just saying. Here's a leaked image of the MrBeast compound. It's a little weird, to be honest. It's not like super good quality, but MrBeast compound image just got leaked, guys, and it's looking sussy. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Wop, 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 wop.
Nicknamed Delaware as a contestant in his
Wonder why he's wearing a mask. Are they literally trying to cover up a pedophile?
Video, victim age 11, which is
awful.
Horrible.
Oh
Since then, Jake the Viking confirmed in a tweet that Delaware is indeed his brother-in-law and a registered offender and was part of the MrBeast video, and claims that Jimmy and his mom also knew about this and allowed it to happen.
Yeah, all this is pretty bad. I could say I'm very forgiving when it comes to a lot of people and their pasts. Certified pedophiles? Really, guys? Listen, I can forgive people with B-tier crimes and below, depending on circumstances, forgivable. If it's an A-tier or higher, get him the fuck out of here.
Now, if you thought that that was the only criminal that Jimmy was associated with, Rosanna Pansino tweeted out, I've received confirmation from 5 verified contestants that for the first round of Beast Games, a man named Armani was allowed to compete. He was previously charged with at least 20 counts for battery.
What? How did? Guys, it was just a one-time thing, he says after his 20th time. How do you get charged for 20 times for battery and become a contestant in a MrBeast video?
Kidnapping, pandering or pimping, and robbery. He pled guilty to the pimping charge, acknowledging the significant evidence against him.
Okay, 20 counts for battery. Battery could range anywhere from a B tier to an A tier crime, depending on the situation. Kidnapping does not start below A tier, okay? Kidnapping is bad. Like, so bad.
He allegedly
oh my god.
also slept near female contestants before being kicked off set for inappropriate behavior.
They took a guy who's a kidnapper and a assaulter and got him to sleep next to female contestants in this Beast game? Jimothy Breasticles, what are you doing?
Some of the female contestants confirmed being very uncomfortable around him.
Yeah, great.
He's also friends with Jake Paul and
it's this freaking bubble! This cesspool of society! Of course he was friends with Jake Paul! Why wouldn't he be?
Other influencers.
Oh my god!
Why was there not adequate background checks to catch people like this?
Or were there adequate background checks and people just didn't care?
And there's a picture.
You telling me that one of the random subscribers that were in MrBeast's video happens to be a friend of Jake Paul, the brother of the guy that's in all of MrBeast's videos? Really?
of our money. Yikes, I don't think they took time for background checks. Good lord, my god, MrBeast, what else are you hiding? Now, obviously, this is really concerning if it is true, because you can't have criminals of this degree participating in your challenges.
Why not? Why not, Mr. More Pegasus? You're just gonna say that and not give us an explanation?
Especially allowing them to sleep near female contestants when they might be uncomfortable. That is obviously a recipe for disaster.
No, this is a fucking nightmare. It's like the whole idea of, remember they made a video with the nuclear bunker? These two people have never met each other before in their entire life. And then it'll lock two people in a nuclear bunker for 7 days or whatever. Guys, please. They knew each other, okay? They were fucking. All right, get out of here. Get out of here. Didn't know each other.
And Jimmy needs to conduct better background checks to avoid situations like this. Now, Rosanna follows up by saying he has changed his appearance since being in jail. Contestants said they believe he was in the green team in the group challenge. Multiple people have told me he allegedly received a lot of camera time and was to be part of the story. Here we got the alleged changes.
They were gonna make the alleged 20 times arrested for battery, pled guilty for kidnapping guy. They were gonna make him the main character. Oh.
An appearance. I mean, at this point, Jimmy has to respond to this. That is allegedly 2 criminals that we now know of. I mean, there's plenty of people who would take part in a MrBeast video gladly with great personalities. I don't know why they feel the need to
You fool. He doesn't want good personalities.
Scoop the bottom of the barrel with contestants and settle for actual criminals. That is just insane to me. Now, Rosanna also says in this tweet that they're basically messing with the outcomes of the Beast Games rounds. I've received confirmation from at least 10 Beast Games contestants that production has been calling some people this week and telling them they are now—
See, like, I know that Legal Eagle made his whole defense video for Mr. Breast talking about how he could fuck around with the results of the game shows on YouTube because it doesn't actually have regular guidelines, even though I think it's immoral and unethical. Still, doing this for Beast Games, which is actually going to be broadcasted on Amazon Prime, that is not the case at all. This is very, very bad if true.
Now kicked off the show and no longer allowed to compete. This appears to be a fairly large amount of people. These are people who made it to the next round of Beast Games and were set to fly to the next shoot in Canada. I'm waiting for additional confirmation, but it appears that production is allegedly also calling people who were eliminated in the first round and inviting them back onto the show. Production has so far refused to give a reason, but the most common theory I'm hearing is that it was because of psych evaluation given to contestants after the first round. In my opinion, they either did a psych evaluation of contestants too late, or they're playing favoritism with specific contestants. Either way, it is really concerning.
What? Beast Games playing favoritism? They don't fake content!
Some people are saying this could be favoritism, or maybe they're just kicking out cheaters and giving back chances to people who got cheated out of a win. Honestly,
ain't no way.
Personally, I feel like changing results after the fact is always lame, and it should be monitored in real time so people know exactly what happened and it's more fair. You guys can form your own opinion regarding that. Now, Rosanna also made—
There's no way they're bringing them back because they got cheated. They would rather keep them fired and use editing magic to make it look like there was no cheating than to actually bring them back and admit that the first episode's results actually were skewed. There is no way that's happening.
Made a very concerning tweet. I've heard rumors from people working close with MrBeast that he's hiring PIs to investigate those speaking up against him.
That's gross! Oh my god, can you imagine 10 years on YouTube and I get doxxed by Mr. Breast sending one of his fucking boogeymen after
Thank
me?
you to the people who reached out to warn me and others. I now have confirmation from several people that individuals are indeed being offered money to fabricate stories about me and others.
A PI is a private investigator.
I have identified some of these people already. They began harassing my friends as of last weekend.
Holy shit, it's just gonna be random pieces of shit calling my family members, calling my mom. Your son, Lord Nuxanor, I believe it is called. He's a pretty bad guy, pretty shady, pretty awfully shady, that guy. And my mom is going to be like, not my Lord Nuxanor. And then the guy will be like, all right, please send me baby pictures. Allow me to have information to dox him, please. Thank you.
And I'm keeping all of the receipts. Okay, obviously, if that's true, that is really concerning.
It's disgusting. It's actually gross. I mean, I'm just saying, over the last couple of weeks, I made a good bunch of videos talking about Mr. Breast's different situations. And I'm not gonna lie, I did get canceled by more than one group of people. Like, I got canceled by a lot of different people in this last month that I've also been investigating MrBeast. Are they controlled opposition? I start going after MrBeast and suddenly everyone comes out of the woodwork trying to come for me? Coincidence?
Fabricating stories
You get canceled all the time, boss. Yeah, but this month has been especially brutal. I'm just saying.
about people is never okay. Personally, I'd like to believe MrBeast is not a part of this and somebody under him is taking it upon themselves to do something sinister. But the fact...
Nah. If it's happening, MrBeast knows about it.
That she's saying people are being offered money to fabricate stuff is incredibly concerning. Now, before you ask, none of my friends have been contacted yet, all right? And I'd like to keep it that way, all right? I have got lawyers, all right, just in case. We got the squad ready. But personally, I'm just reporting the news and stating my opinion, so not really making any accusations myself, so it should be good. But yeah, hypothetically, if it's true, stay away from my friends and family, bro.
That's disgusting. Holy shit. Actual supervillain shit.
Some supervillain shit. Anyway.
Not pre-watched. Not pre-watched. It just is. It just is supervillain shit, okay? It's literally not pre-watched.
Anyways, moving on to Feastables.
All right. On to the slave labor allegations.
Big disclaimer, this next allegation is super serious, all right? I cannot confirm any of its legitimacy. I encourage everyone to do their own research and come to their own conclusions. That being said, YouTuber Honesty made yet another allegation against MrBeast, saying he's potentially using child labor or slave labor for his chocolate.
Oh my god, this is getting so bad! I told you this was going on. Oh no.
Which is incredibly concerning.
Everything in this video is alleged, and the conclusions are my own opinion. Like many other industries,
you gotta protect yourself from that potential lawsuit. This is my opinion. It is alleged. I'm not making these claims. MrBeast hitmen, please do not kill me.
Chocolate is notorious for its exploitation of children using child labor and slave labor. They use child labor, forced labor, unsafe conditions to farm these cacao beans that eventually makes its way to become chocolates at your table. With that being said, I'm gonna try to prove my first point, that MrBeast is using child labor and slave labor for his chocolates today. And
okay, I obviously think it's fucking horrible. It's absolutely fucking horrible that slave labor is so awful in the chocolate industry. And definitely most companies don't give a shit about it and do this crap. I don't know how in the know MrBeast necessarily is about these things to say that he is doing slave labor because he has a chocolate shit that's working unethically. But I'm still waiting to see. That's pretty awful.
And has been since late 2023. When Feastables first launched in January of 2022, if you went into their FAQ, their frequently asked questions section, they proudly displayed that they were child labor free and slave labor free.
They actually said that.
Questions section, they proudly displayed that they were.
Are your products kosher certified? At this time, Feastable hasn't sought the kosher certification for our products. Oh well, guess I won't eat Feastables. Huge L. Is there any forced child labor involved in producing your cocoa beans? Farms certified with the Rainforest Alliance are not allowed to use any child labor, and being a certified partner, we can ensure that the farmers are being treated well, blah, blah, blah. So you're telling me that on their page, it said that they don't do child labor. Well, there goes my theory about him not knowing about it.
Child labor free and slave labor free. As a matter of fact, in April of 2023, they doubled down and they added to their list of main menu options this option that said we're
we're slave free on their main page. Yikes.
Free. And if you clicked it, it had an entire dedicated page talking about how they were free of slave labor and child labor. But just a few months later, in October of 2023, that main page item that said we're free, that was removed. In addition, in the frequently asked questions section, that stuff about being child labor free and slave labor free, that stuff also disappeared.
Then you just fucking hired slaves off the get-go and got away with it. They literally made a whole spiel about being child labor free and slave labor free. Then fucking they took all that shit behind the dumpster and they put a bullet in its head and then just actually hired fucking slaves. Bro is 2 steps away from I gave 100 jobs to poor children against their will. This is actually insane. I cannot believe this. This is fucking awful. It should never have been an option to begin with. Well, obviously not, but the chocolate industry does that shit. It's awful. It's disgusting that it happens. I'm not underselling it. But you can't go out here, make part of your brand the fact that you're super ethical and care about people. In fact, you're so ethical, this is even child labor free, and then just slowly just get slaves. This is insane.
Later in May of 2024, and even to this day, there's no mention whatsoever at all about any kind of ethical sourcing of ingredients. If you're thinking, oh, it's a mistake, or maybe they forgot, I think the chances of this being true are less than 0.00.
It's definitely not forgetting at this point. They specifically removed it.
1%. You see, MrBeast prides himself on hiring the best of the best, and there is no way marketers would forget to put this kind of information on their website because
No. They had it on their website. They removed it from their website. Dude, MrBeast's chocolate brand is a nightmare. Like, they started off talking about how we are so much healthier than Hershey's. We only use 4 ingredients or whatever. And then, obviously, first of all, that turned out to not be true, allegedly. And then second of all, they fucking lied and they just made it less healthy than Hershey's.
Because it would.
It's almost like they use these things to promote their shit, and then the moment they promote it, they don't need those things anymore. It's like they will make ethical chocolate and say, guys, Feastables is ethical chocolate for the marketing campaign. Then, slowly but surely, they'll just hire some They'll just, I don't know, find some slaves, get them to work on it, and then they don't need to say it anymore. They already put that message into the world that it's healthy. Like, this is fraudulent, in my opinion.
Boost their brand favorability in the eyes of consumers. It's likely then that MrBeast is now using child labor and forced labor for Feastables chocolates.
More than likely. I'd say it's a 99% chance that they are, just simply because they fucking removed it from the website.
This is especially bad because it means that MrBeast and
This is especially bad because, you know, child slaves.
The Feastables team were very aware that child labor and forced labor slavery exists in the chocolate industry.
Yeah, I was about to say that. If they wouldn't have included this anyway, they would have never had this statement, and they would have just... Honestly, I think a lot of the reason why MrBeast is falling apart right now is simply because he tried way too hard to look like the fucking Messiah. Honestly, he tried so hard to make sure that his brand was so squeaky clean. Squeaky clean! He went on to fucking podcasts talking about how he never ever faked anything in videos ever. It's because of that when he actually is proven to have faked stuff in videos, it hits him so hard. If he would have just gone into this fucking shit stain of a business like the chocolate business, and he wouldn't have tried to be some sort of savior saying how we never use slavery ever, we are so based and slaveless, then you know what, honestly, people wouldn't have asked. The only reason why people are talking about it right now is because of his original God complex that needed to make him look better by calling it slavery free.
And yet decided to take advantage of the most weak and the vulnerable among us for personal gain. This is
And honestly, it's kind of a little crazier because, again, he could have gotten away with this 100% if he just would have never said anything ever. If he would have just done exactly what Hershey's did, people would have been like, all right, he's just like every other brand, sure. But when it's so tied to his goodness, his God complex of not only is my chocolate the healthiest, but it's also the tastiest and also the most ethical. And then it turns out it's not the healthiest, it's not the tastiest, and it's not ethical. You know, that looks fucking awful.
Bad look for any company, but it's worse for MrBeast
100%.
because he puts on these large public displays of being a philanthropist and a role model to young children.
Okay, if all that is
Bro is like actual king of fucking monetizing children. No one monetizes children like MrBeast. He monetizes their attention and he monetizes their slaves and their bodies. This is actually crazy. I can't believe it.
It's true. That is absolutely sickening. I don't know how it keeps getting worse. I know there's a meme that there's no good billionaires and stuff, but I'm starting to understand what it actually takes to get uber rich. Somewhere down the line, it seems something sinister happens where you might potentially have to sacrifice morals for more money. And yeah, based on
what? Sacrifice morals for money? Bro, that doesn't happen. There are plenty of nice billionaires. What do you mean? Look at Elon Musk. Look at Elon Musk.
What he said, that is some extremely shady behavior. Removing labels like that is extremely concerning because then you're allowing people to speculate like this and they're going to assume the worst intentions. Now, honestly goes on to say that in his opinion, MrBeast actually knew about this and planned it this way, which is another insane allegation.
Honestly, I believe so as well. Listen, I'm not making this allegation, but I'm just saying what I believe just based on all the evidence that we had until here. MrBeast very much likes the idea of making a broad claim that's technically true and it'll make him look amazing. And then behind the scenes, he can walk it back. But since he made the claim, people will remember him in a good light for it, even though he's not actually taking the hit because of that. I think a classic example is saying that Feastables are healthy. He has a video with millions of views saying Feastables are a much healthier version to Hershey's. And then, sometime after that video dropped and that massive advertisement campaign, MrBeast was really quick and easy to just make it less healthy. Because he already put into the world that it is healthier. So from a PR perspective and from an advertising standpoint, he's got that statement into the world that it's healthy. And then he could just make less healthy, more addictive fucking chocolate. So I really do believe that this is just a personal opinion. It is not an allegation, it is just an opinion. I believe that MrBeast has done this many, many times. When he says no child labor, in his mind, my guess is he was planning on getting child slaves labor. Later, he just wanted to first make this whole shit about how, oh, they're so ethical.
I think MrBeast knew the entire time, since the beginning of Feastables, that he was going to use child labor and slave labor for his chocolates, but he tried to trick us into thinking otherwise. Yeah. To try and prove my point, I'm going to first talk about the Feastables packaging, and then I'm going to talk about the kosher and halal certifications.
Oh,
when MrBeast first launched Feastables, it was in line with his brand. They were clearly trying to do things ethically. They actually got a certification.
Were they? Or were they just trying to get the clout of being an ethical company and then just switch everything up and debate it behind the scenes?
From the Rainforest Alliance. Once you're certified, you're able to use their logo, which is a little frog, on all of your products, your website, on all of that stuff. When I saw the packaging for Feastables, both old and new, there was no Rainforest Alliance certified logo anywhere. If you
He's a demon. He's a monster. He's actual cruel. He got the Rainforest Alliance purely for the promotion of it as slave labor free, and then he never puts it on the packaging because he knows he's gonna fucking just get slaves later? Oh my fucking god.
One day that package has a frog logo on it, and the next day it disappears, people will notice.
So they just never put it on the package. They never put it on the package. Because they knew for a fact people would notice that they, started hiring slaves. This is sickly marketing. Despicable marketing. Oh my god.
So instead, they decide to only put it on their website because at the end of the day, who the hell
No one remembers a website. You could always remove it from a website.
reads a website except for weirdos like me? By doing it this way,
True.
I think they tried to fool everyone into thinking that their chocolate is still child labor free and slave labor free.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna speculate on MrBeast's intentions because I don't know what is going on in his head, obviously. But the facts that he presented of removing those labels and
You don't know what's going on in his head? Let me show you the inside of this man's head. I got you. Here's the inside of MrBeast's head. Is it everywhere? They won't notice if we simply remove the rainforest frog from the website. $10 million? Alright, I think I made my... Alright, whatever. We get the idea.
refusing to put that little logo on the chocolate bar, that is some concerning stuff. At this point, MrBeast is gonna have to wait until the end of the earth to respond because he said he's only gonna respond after all the allegations are made.
Dude, you know what the biggest flex of all time is? MrBeast says he's not responding until Dogpack's third video. Dogpack just never drops the third video. Imagine how sick that would be. Dogpack just doesn't drop the third video, and MrBeast is waiting for eternity to respond. It never happens. And then MrBeast decides eventually, all right, I have no choice, I have to respond. And then BAM! Day after the response, third video comes out, another plane has hit the towers, and it's Jover.
In one final
Dogpack, please don't get Boeing'd.
response. So I don't know, more and more keep coming out, man. Now we move on to MrBeast's apology. Basically, you guys remember Jake Weddle. He was the contestant in one of MrBeast's challenges where he had to stay in solitary confinement, and he claimed to basically be tortured, not allowed to sleep because the lights were on the entire time. He was made to run a marathon with no training, lots of brutal stuff, and pressure to stay in the challenge. Now it turns out MrBeast actually reached out to Jake Weddle, apologized, and
we actually did cover this.
Offered him about $200K as the remaining money that he would have won if he completed the challenge. Here's a clip.
He said, hey, I wanted to reach out and say I didn't mean to cause you mental stress with that video, and I apologize. Clearly it had an effect on you. You mentioned you'd like to be paid out the rest of the prize money, the other $190,000. And I'd love to make things right with you. I have zero expectation of you mentioning me sending you this money publicly or taking down any videos. This is just me wanting to help you out and make sure you're good. I just need to know if you still have the same bank or not. We'll send you the money on Monday. Wish you
I mean, you remember my theory. My theory is that his 5D brain chest, MrBeast, going out here to say that you don't have to talk about it publicly. But he knows he has to talk about it publicly, because if MrBeast ever mentions it publicly, his credibility is in the toilet. So he has to mention it publicly, and MrBeast knows he has to mention it publicly. So MrBeast told him he doesn't have to mention it publicly to make MrBeast look like a better guy. That's my game theory. I could be wrong. I think it's a PR move 100%. That all said and done, I've been doing some thinking. After this whole situation. There's a lot of weird sussy-wussy stuff going on.
the best. There was no lawyers around. It wasn't a spectacle. There was no camera in my face.
I already did do a whole video on this. I don't think I'm gonna... I think I am gonna skip this little segment. Simply put, he seems very opportunistic about this whole thing. Like, he really does enjoy the opportunism of grifting a little bit on the MrBeast drama. And I think he is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He made a whole other video. I caught Jimmy in a secret recording, which was just clickbait. It was an AI voice. And he said, haha, it was AI. Don't get fooled. And I thought it was a little weird. To be honest, to be TBH, thought it was a little weird. Definitely is using this as an opportunity. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if you would at least own up to it. If you would have just said, hey guys, I was tortured by MrBeast. I'm going to milk this shit. I would have so much respect for him. But it's him saying, I don't want to milk this shit. I don't want to be associated with MrBeast. And therefore, I am not. And then he proceeds to milk the MrBeast stuff anyway. I think he's weird.
Jimmy in a secret recording, and the video starts off with a fake AI video of MrBeast talking.
That's right. I got that sent to me, and you know what? That was AI. Yeah.
Yeah, he clickbaited the MrBeast drama. So, in my mind, that's a little opportunistic.
Yeah, that was AI.
Also, MrBeast offered him 190K, and he only took 50K, because he didn't want to be bought out completely, so he didn't take the whole 190K. But he did take 50K, because he needed it to live. In my mind, you either take none of it or all of it. 50K, people are going to say you're bought out. Some people are going to say that no one on earth is going to be on your side for only taking 50K. Also, if you need the money, take the money. It'll either be in your hands or the Beast's hands.
And he knew this recording was fake as well, so it's just a weird thing to do. I really encourage anyone who comes out with a MrBeast story to be more careful about what you say or do, because genuine advice, you can lose public favor very quickly. Now moving on to a guy called Ty Orr.
Oh, another guy that lost public favor very quickly. Another guy that was kind of seemingly grifting on the MrBeast.
This guy made 2 videos.
Yeah, I did cover this as well.
On MrBeast, calling him a thief.
Oh, I didn't realize he made a second video.
And a liar. Basically, this is someone who is trying to be on MrBeast's idea team. He claims that MrBeast stole his idea and did not pay him for it. Now, the idea in question is the sort of floating platforms for a challenge video, and then he got a bunch of obstacles, similar to the game Fall Guys. Now, is it a unique idea? Personally, I think it's plausible that someone from the MrBeast team also came up with that, and it's also plausible that they didn't, and they actually did steal Ty's idea. Now, MrBeast team responded with a message showing that they already had a similar idea, so take that as you will. Now, I feel like if you have someone apply for a job and go physically to your location and do some work, I feel like you should compensate them just a little, even if they didn't actually get the job.
Again, ethically, yeah. Ethically, sure, I guess, I suppose. But he told them in advance, we're just bringing you in to see the vibe. Again, I do think you should have paid this guy if you fly him in and whatever. It would have been appropriate. Not necessary.
Job or do a good job. But the problem is Tyor's intentions are in question now, because initially when
He also made like a $1.7 million Kickstarter saying, since MrBeast scammed me out of my idea, let's raise $1.7 million. And that's like, what?
he uploaded the video, he linked a GoFundMe for $1.7 million. He has since taken it down after severe backlash and apologized in a comment refunding the money. Last I checked, despite getting 2.5 million views, he only got like 20 donors and about $400. Maybe more, I don't know, but this is not a noble move. This is the bare minimum after pulling a stunt like that. There is no reason the public needs to pay you 1.7 million for an idea that is ridiculous. Even if MrBeast wants to compensate you, an idea like that, which is literally just Fall Guys the game, let's be honest, is worth maybe $1,000.
I love how Mr. Pegasus sees this and he's like, this is just like Fall Guys the game, instead of, you know, American Ninja Warrior, like the actual TV show that is literally this, not a game. Bro, I love it so much.
Maximum, like, super generous $50,000 for that idea. And you should ask that compensation from MrBeast, not the general public who is already struggling to get by.
MrBeast scammed me, so now I will scam you.
Now, in his second video, he alleges that MrBeast just gets free labor from people by asking them to apply for a non-existent job, which again, I can't confirm, but he says he won't apologize for the GoFundMe anymore.
He took out the apology. Wait, so he makes the GoFundMe for $1.7 million. He gets backlash. He deletes the GoFundMe. He apologizes for the GoFundMe in his pinned comment. And then he makes another video where he redacts his apology for the GoFundMe. It's a sassy!
But he already said sorry in a comment. I don't know. I feel for him if it's true, but I can't excuse clown behavior, all right? Now moving on to MrBeast's girlfriend.
I feel like there's so much serious shit that goes on. There's literally so much serious shit that goes on in the MrBeast world. Like, whenever I see this stuff, it muddies the water. I hate dogpilers for the sake of dogpiling that aren't actually talking about anything of substance. It gives... did you see this? Keemstar makes this Twitter video saying 70% of the things about MrBeast are cringe. And, you know, everyone called him out on it and called him controlled opposition and all that shit and being paid off by MrBeast. Now, that said, he's not wrong that 70% of the stuff being called out about MrBeast are in fact cringe. But the 30% that are legitimate are super fucking bad. This guy's hired multiple pedophiles, allegedly. Okay? Like, unacceptable. Now, you're right. 70% is just clout chasing claims. And I don't even think he's necessarily completely wrong about that. But that doesn't invalidate the really bad 30% either. I don't know. It's awful. This whole situation keeps getting muddier and muddier the more people that want a piece of the pie. Anyone that's ever been associated with MrBeast is coming out now with like the most bogus, stupid bullshit claims that just does nothing but add fucking fuel to the fire.
Half the things that are said are not true. I wouldn't be with him if they were. MrBeast's girlfriend defends the YouTuber following the recent allegations. Now people are memeing this response saying, wait, what does she mean by half?
The half is because she hired a fucking pedophile. Wait, her name is Taya Boyson. All right. Defends the YouTuber following recent allegations.
Following the recent allegations. Now people are memeing this response saying, wait, what does she mean by half? Half, and we got Walter White with a cell phone. Only half, the smile of an empty vessel. All right, so basically it's too vague to actually say anything. His ex-girlfriend came out too, saying that she's been silent for years and vaguely saying that we need to protect women from people like that. She doesn't actually...
She says nothing. Nothing burger. Literal nothing burger. His ex-girlfriend comes out of the woodwork to be like, guys, we have to all protect ourselves from people that are ambitious and people in power. When people are empowered and ambitious, there are all sorts of ambitions.
Mention Jimmy's name, but take that as you will. Now moving on, Rosanna also posted a video about MrBeast's leaked document, which showcases some of his work culture.
On to page 17, own your mistakes. This coming from Jimmy, someone who has
we covered this too.
Never owned his mistakes, never taken accountability, and never apologized for any of his poor behavior. I hate excuses and despise with my entire soul when people just try to save face instead of learn from how they've messed up.
Lol.
all-nighters weeks before the shoot, so you don't have to
Got 'em.
days before the shoot. If you planned with adequate time, preparation, and staff, your staff wouldn't have to be doing all-nighters. Never do anything that can make us look bad from a PR perspective.
If one of the slaves is running away and gonna tell the world, make sure to shoot them in the back instead of the potential PR disaster. MrBeast, page 17 in the document. Don't quote me on that. I was just looking at the fucking document. That was a joke.
We don't fake things. The absolute delusion. Yes, you do, Jimmy. You pick the best
Oh god, she literally spoke to him like that.
company in America to do it at. The delusion. I would love to see the benefits
Best company in America, where everyone, from child to pedophile, is welcome.
of the best company in America.
Very excited for the next video. I took 100 pedophiles and 100 children, and I put them in a room together for 24 days.
What I'm hearing, you don't even like people taking holidays off, such as Christmas. This sounds like the worst company to work for in America to me. This isn't a stepping stone. This is your final destination.
You would think
Lamau.
that MrBeast actually paid someone to write something like this, but it really sounds like he wrote it in his voice here, which is kind of funny.
But maybe that just means that whoever he hired did a really good job. Or maybe he's cloning himself. Maybe he's like a Terminator. Ever think about that, Pegasus?
It really depends how he implements these rules and how strictly he follows these guidelines. Like, is he actually working people to the bone? But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, there's also a situation with Ava Chris Tyson's partner.
Oh my fucking god, there's more. There's more. I wanted the slave labor shit. I can't believe there's so much more.
Irit defending Chris Tyson in a situation
good.
regarding a potential
good.
SA victim named
Let's
Jess.
go.
Now, if you want more details regarding
I totally care about what Chris Tyson's, what was that, sister is saying about this. Yeah, that's worth a lot.
that, you can check out Exate's video on it.
Ava Chris Tyson's current partner is alleging that Mr.
Oh, it's Ava's current partner. It's the current partner. The current part. This is someone who is their current partner, I would not believe a word they say. Yeah, sure. Yeah, all right. This pedophile's best friend has only glowing things to say about the pedophile.
Beast and his investors are trying to keep everyone quiet about the recent allegations. An alleged leaked Discord message from Chris's partner goes into detail about what's happened behind the scenes at MrBeast's company since Chris was removed, as well as attempting to defend Chris against every allegation, and even claiming at one point Jimmy had tears in his eyes while firing his first subscriber,
Damn. I mean, I believe it. They were obviously friends.
Chris Tyson.
I mean, that said, that implies that MrBeast would be able to cry, and let's be honest here, cyborgs don't cry.
But we're going to refrain from covering this until it gets a little bit more clear as to what's happening, because it seems like Irit is just blatantly lying regarding a lot of things. Anyways, that's...
Wait, you mean Chris Tyson, alleged predator, is Chris Tyson's partner is lying? Well, I'll be a mother's tit. That's crazy.
That's pretty much it for all the updates. Dogpack Part 3 should be dropping soon, and we'll see what happens when that happens. Till then, I'll see you guys next time.
That's crazy. Nicely done. Good video, Mr. Pegasus. That well done. Nicely and well and positively done. In all honesty, though, I think the slave labor shit, for me, that's crazy. That's insane. Holy crap. And the fact that he had it on his branding and he removed it and he never put it on his chocolate bars, like, that is some fucking slimy shit. Well, the good news is there's no way it'll get worse, guys. Yeah, I should never end videos like that ever. That was a bad idea. Stay weird, fam. If you made it to the end, click one of these two videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Kick. Stay weird, fam.